Okay, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I said I was going to leave it as a question. I implied that it would be better that I left it as a question, which to me means the same as I said I would, because it's coming from the collective of whatever it is I consider upstairs to be. Well, me. I mean, me. We use the word me. But, so I capitalized that word once. Oh, that was a big no-no. Oh my God. They say, oh my God. It wasn't the psychiatrist, it was the prosecutor. Prosecutor Catherine Hull. She blew a gasket in the courtroom. She said it was grounds to refuse me bail at the very beginning of court case 13-205-SR at the Barrie Courthouse in Ontario. Catherine Hull, last name Hull. And picking up then where we left off. Did Jesus fast 40 days, 40 nights in the desert? That is a really, really, really good question. And I didn't know that it was actually a question of did Jesus actually need to fast or did Jesus fast? So, never considered it that way before. And then I had the sudden answer come up. So, So let me provide you with my experience so that you can see the answer that I saw from my perspective and see if we agree, because we aren't known to each other as minds. I mean, we say the word "we are one" if we read A Course in Miracles, and one person calls out, says, "Do we share the same mind?" And everybody else says, I squawk, we do, we do. I mean, does it not sound like a rhetorical kind of religious cult to you? It gets kind of confusing, doesn't it? I, you, we, they. Who really knows? I mean, so we use the word we, me. Okay. I have these Freudian slips, like honestly. I was making a vlog. In this vlog I made the other day, I couldn't stop saying the word Vancouver instead of the word July. Or was it June? Anyway, I was trying to say the date. I think it was of the 26th June email that I had written to the Vancouver City Councillors, which you can find at 26jun.2dream.ca. The one that asks the Pope to help me bring about worldwide peace. And the Catholic Vatican Church, who was actively holding on to my belongings at the time, in Vancouver. Well, see, I know we were getting through by email. I mean, I know that James is a good guy over there. I mean, he's suffering from his own health problems, and he knows that has somewhat to do with the fundamental precipice of the church, which is to always deny everybody as being a false idol. No problem. But that doesn't mean that it has to be his personal choice. He can send me an email that says, "Hey, Renee, I'm sorry, we just can't give you a reply." The fact that he's sending an email is the next level, permissible reply. I'm not restricted to his rules. I can write whatever I want. But just getting an email from him, that generally means we're on speaking terms. So, Corey Ross over there in Vancouver General, I don't know if he's a guy or a girl, and I don't care, it doesn't matter to me. cori.ross@vch.ca is his email address. That man or woman is currently interpreting my communications with that individual from the negative perspective, because that individual is still aligned with his corporate identity and has not taken full authority over his personal responsibility to ensure consistency within the legal framework of his own physical environment. Basically means that he's found guilty of corruption, running an organized crime syndicate, joining with one, fraud in the highest levels. Now, unfortunately, he's an employee of the Vancouver Coastal Health Authority, and they're a private company. And little did you know, the hospital in Vancouver, the Ministry of Health in Vancouver right now is actually already privatized. And they're having a little bit of a squabble about who's the boss. Is it the private companies that are finally able to control this, or is it the ministry that retained the executive approval over use of anything in the hospital? For example, minor subnote. There is already a private authority in existence called the Airport Authority, AA. And then if you put an F in front of that, then you get Federal Airport Authority, or is it the Airport Administration? Anyway, authority and administration are basically the same word, and it means fully private but looks public company. That's a good analogy. Okay, and then learning the words of the environment here is what we're doing. We're piecing this place together. Now, okay. I have this recorded. Yeah, I'm thinking about at least 2 different recordings there. So I know that I'm on 2 different levels, 2 of us. There might be 3. Who knows? Anyway, I'm seeing echoes, and they're all funny. Not everybody. It's not everybody. Oh my goodness, no. No, this is this kind of humor. This is this kind of humor. So the 4th of July, right? Air Canada Video 3, that's what this is also. Oh, yes. Air Canada Video 3. The previous 3 just got bumped to 4. That means there's an Air Canada 4 already, too. And that means this chain can just keep growing and growing and growing. Oh my God. Listen to the Air Canada people whine when they finally catch on to this. So, on the 4th of July, I wake up as an involuntary patient in Vancouver General Hospital. If you want the whole details, you can go to vlog35.2dream.ca. I'm waking up on the 4th of July. I'm ordered that I have to take the pill and the medication regardless. I have no rights to abstain from any of the psychiatric drugs whatsoever. And they have complete rule and domination over my body. They can just repeatedly cut off my arms as if they wanted to. And so I walk into the psychiatrist's office and I said, "Hey doc, you know the rules here, hey?" And he looks at me and he says, okay, like me right now, I'm abridging this, cutting this argument short, okay? He looks at me and he says, "Are you kidding me? You're pulling out the rule book?" And I said, "No, seriously, doc, I'm pulling out the rule book." And he said, "All right, there's a fast way to do this." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, here, you can just have all your stuff back." I was like, so what are you talking about? "No, you can have all your stuff back. You're free to go." You want to go back to Toronto, you said?" I was like, well, yeah, but can you just buy me a ticket? He's like, yeah, well, did you want the 6 p.m. or the 10 p.m.? Well, 10 p.m. I gotta get my stuff first from the Vatican Church. I mean, I'm gonna give them at least 2 hours, 3 hours notice, right? So within 3 hours, I had my stuff from the Vatican Church as well. I don't even know how it arrived. It just arrived. For 3 days, the nurses had been looking for my belongings, my cell phone charger, my sandals, my toothbrush, in the PEAT area of Vancouver General Hospital. No, sorry. I got transferred on the 29th of June to the Seagull 8 Pavilion in Vancouver General Hospital. On the 29th of June, I was transferred there. And while I was being transferred, I asked them if I could have my belongings with me, and they put my cell phone in my hand. And I said, excuse me, I came in here with more than my cell phone. And they said the rest of your belongings that are in long storage will be transferred for you. And I said, okay, that's great, but I don't think these ones are in locked storage. Can we just check behind the counter there if you have like my sandals and my cell phone charger and my toothbrush, please? And gone through the tunnels to Seagull 8. And there wasn't even a visible speck of me on like the public floors. It was too crazy, too weird. So then it took me 3 days of calling down to Pete in order to find the kindest nurse imaginable. Her name was Stephanie, who finally found the belongings and sent them up. And then I got word of them after I was hung over from the injection they forcibly gave me on the 2nd of July. They told me about it on the 3rd of July. I said, hey, we got your belongings. It was Eugene, the asshole again. That asshole told me to calm down while I was peacefully standing at his counter protesting about his legal right to tell me, to order me to repeatedly take the pill if I have a right to abstain from it. If I have a right to abstain from taking the pill, then I have a right to say that it is causing me fear when you keep insisting that I have to take it, because the outcome of that fear is that I will be forcibly injected, and if we can speed the circle up, it means that right now I can already charge you with criminal harassment. So please write down, every single time anybody asks me to take any kind of medication, I am directly considering that the unlawful criminal offense of criminal harassment. I told him to write that down. I wrote down the time in my own notes there. Let's look that up. You know, I actually thought there was going to be a lot more work involved in that, but there's a lot more anyway, so we can just read some of the notes I've made.